Sports League Mandela. As usual, we start with a quote. Our primary purpose in this life is to help others. And if we can't help them, at least don't hurt them. Don't hurt them. Once again, welcome to Sports League Mandela. And as usual, in the studio with me is Mr. Taddy Arundel. Good morning, Taddy.
Good morning, man. Good to be here again. Looking forward to having a good show today. Yeah.
Yes, we have Kenneth Benjamin in the studio shortly this morning to discuss cricket and what's going on in the local tournament with ACA and other stuff. And also we have in Les Boy Weeks in England, our good friend in Les Boy Weeks in England.
We're hoping to have him for so long.
Yes, so
hopefully we get him today.
Yeah.
To discuss a lot of the things that we can do to help develop cricket around Antigua, Montserrat, St. Kitts, Leeward Islands stuff. He passed Leeward Islands player.
Right.
And he don't want to make his contribution to anything to develop cricket around here,
That's true too. But for me, this week was kind of disappointing because of, as we were talking last week, I thought Devon Thomas would have made his debut on the home side. But you did tell me that you don't think so.
well, I tell you what, when I saw the team now, I thought, hey, why didn't he get this play? When I saw Reef at number 3.
Right.
I said, Reef, huh? You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. I don't want to get into this country business and this, that, and this territory. I know Reef is any number 3 batsman. I never heard of Reef.
Well, somebody told me he bat number 3 for Barbados this season. I'm not too sure. I was supposed to second season. Yeah, this. So I said the guy was saying he bat for Barbados number 3 and make someone this season. But I have to research that. I'm not too sure.
But my problem with that, Earl, is that and the ball boy make the most runs as far as if not the most in the most farms now.
Right.
So why didn't they give the guy a play? You know what I mean, like my query is, you go with the out of farms.
Yeah, to give the opportunity. Because I don't know, John Campbell was proven played a couple of test matches already, and doesn't look the part to me.
Well, and so I said that's the problem I have to know. The Campbell boy, like he never really on top of the bowling. You can say that about Brathwaite, but Brathwaite is sick around and get runs.
Right.
You know, so one thing I like about Brathwaite, if you're going to watch cricket for excitement, don't go watch Brathwaite. But if you watch cricket from an old time cricket point of view, a man who never get out.
Right.
But the problem Brathwaite's biggest problem is he have no supporting cast.
Right.
So he made it look real bad.
Right.
Because of the batsman and the knock with the ball.
No, right, that's true.
So now everything does look like he's so slow.
Right.
Because normally somebody can knock with the ball, you know what I mean?
He take pressure off the next batsman.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, take pressure off the next batsman. And also he will even get come more free too.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's what happened.
So, and everybody knows that's Brathwaite's style. And Brathwaite, Brathwaite's style has been successful.
Right.
We're bringing all kind of guys, but they're not most of the time.
Right.
So, style has been successful.
Right.
Criticize Brathwaite. We're bringing all kind of guys, but they're not most of the time.
Exactly.
So,
that's all that's successful.
Occasional century.
Yeah.
But nobody remember he bat because social guns come to the end.
That's true.
I bang you, Greenwich and them boys bang about and you know what I mean? So he's made it look real bad, slow.
Right.
Preferably, you never use the word slow. Because it's supporting cast.
Right.
Supporting cast and supporting. And look, I listen to the commentary. I think the first day or the second day. To the third. So it was second day. I might have been the first day. And I remember Springer was saying to Seth Burton and somebody else, and he said, when we look at the Western's old previous old teams they used to have,
right? You
could say, well, you have a real stroke player coming down the year.
Right.
It's our cars and names. He didn't maybe just left out Vivi, but I know he mean Vivian so I didn't hold that against him. But he was correct. You know, you're alive and so.
Right.
You're this who can dominate bowling. So when the man come in and all hell broke loose.
Yeah. Right.
No, he posed the question, who can they send the team?
Right.
Like
That can
that,
dominate the bowling.
So there's somebody
Right.
mentioned, but Blackwood, but they start knock Blackwood so much, Blackwood start play down now.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, I can live with that. But
Right.
how not a real dominating batsman like before now?
Right.
Who can take the bowling apart? The one guy that tried to do that, but he just be a fly plenty look at him. The other guy Mays.
That Mays. I was going to say
Yeah.
about that Mays. 'Cause I hear them start class about being next Chris Gale. And I have to show about that.
Oh, he knocks with the bar. He knocks with the bar as well.
Yeah, so he could be next Chris Gale. You know, that big write up on him the earlier after he scored some runs in that series against that side there. The season 1, 3-0. They say he's the next Chris Gale. And like, wow, that was so amazing. But I think that they should have made some more ones. They should really stuck to the task, but more positive. Yes, you can look to occupy the crease, but occupy the crease is one. But also, I think importantly, you should be looking to score runs. Look for score singles, ones and twos, and all those other. Right. Right. Yeah, they can't, nobody can play with soft hands, nobody can turn the ball here and there for a single or two and stuff like that. Unless I'm not hitting 4, I can't score. You know, so something just wrong.
Something definitely wrong about it. Something definitely wrong. I don't mean you understand.
Yeah.
But hey, you check too. I was watching England against Netherlands.
Right.
England scored 490.
Yeah. Yes.
Watching the game.
Yeah. I think 2 guys got a century.
2, 3.
3 guys. Oh, I thought it was 2 I heard.
One is some Phil
Right.
Malan.
Phil Sard. Right. Yeah, guy, and I think they were. I saw some comments now saying that the same team West Indies only could make 300, and look, England they make 600.
No, I'm saying Phil Sard, Milan, and Butler.
Right.
I tell you something. When I was watching, the joke is now, when England had 390, 290 something for 4 or something like that, for 3-4.
Right.
12 hours ago, I said, "You don't watch the game, boy, guys. That's a big score that I get."
Right.
But when they come back, when checking again, they see they make 490 something.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the last 12 hours go for nearly 200 hours. But let's go 170 something, but let's go now.
Wow, I know he's been in a good form in IP since IPL. Hitting ball real clean.
He 26 and 24.
Yeah, hitting ball real clean.
He's just bang man as a man. He bang them both straight.
In the form of his life. You know, play real so good real in IPL.
But boy, I tell you, 4 in the 4 in Netherlands.
Yeah.
Couldn't catch it, boy, to get some bangings, man. First time I seen the Phils, guy to me.
Right.
And Livingston came down there and quick.
Yeah, Livingston was in the West Indies. And then he played IPL the other day.
Like 26 and 22 balls.
6 on 20 balls.
Yes.
Okay.
He and Butler banged them both the last 12
Well, no, he not his destruction player too.
I tell you,
I saw him first time I saw him was in the 100.
And guess the joke. Guess the joke, girl. Somebody managed to make 1 and not in the total now. Jason Ryan make 1.
One.
And Morgan make not.
Wow.
1 ball.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. They must be crossing themselves after they see all the teammates.
But there was 2
place.
man to make 1 and not. Such is cricket.
Yeah, that's so true. Tell me, so what do you think about the pitch though? On the first day, Bangladesh was shut over 103. I hear a lot of comments about the pitch. Was uneven, they have ridge and all kind of stuff, you know.
Ridge?
As soon as anything happened in the Caribbean.
I really didn't hear about the ridge. When I was, and then they said hit the patch of grass or something. Patch of grass. I heard. That's what I heard in the commentary.
Right.
I never heard ridge mentioned. But why should I have ridge on the pitch?
Right.
But I didn't like that. There's some patch of grass. And if you have green top, well, green top.
Green top, right, true and true.
If you have green top, green top. That's my beef with it.
Right.
I don't like the idea. There's a patch. There's a patch.
Especially just outside right hand half stump there, patch right there. So you just ball the in ball, tend to do all kind of stuff.
Green top.
Yeah.
And this is the time needing green top. Bangladesh have plenty of fast bowlers.
Right.
We have most seam up attack.
Right.
So people in green top.
Right.
That's my beef with it.
Right.
And But I never heard of no witch business.
Right.
Maybe, well, where you heard that?
One committee was talking yesterday. I think it was during the committee with that guy. Two local guys. It was Seth Burton and this guy, Adventist guy, Vinci Boy. One that was mentioned about something.
The Sava guy?
Yeah, Sava guy. One that was mentioned on some rich, but that was like news to me. I never heard about witch at the stadium.
Well, hey, we're not there. You know?
Yeah, so I know what he's seen, what he hears.
Yeah. But I watch it a lot. When I watch quite a few of the game.
Right.
Especially Alzarez bowling. Come in and see bowl fast now, so I see what kind of pace he got.
Right.
You know what I mean? So don't watch some of that. He's hitting the patch pretty well.
Yeah, right.
He hitting the patch pretty well, you know what I mean? Not too bad.
Right.
But I never mentioned the Ridgeville story.
Okay.
I'm gonna call my partner here. When we finish your memory, Terry. Terry.
Oh.
Sitting against the St. Adventist.
Okay, so Terry's up there doing commentary.
Yeah, Terry got video.
Yeah. But the game, I think that they should have, as I said earlier, they should have made some more ones to put more pressure on Bangladesh.
Very long shot.
Yeah, you know?
See, I will tell my partner up to yesterday now. West Indies might still lose a game now.
Right.
I'll tell you why. Because when New Zealand made out, it was the first innings, 500 something.
Right. I
said to the guy, why didn't you get 600 something, 650, make sure they can't lose?
Right.
Because the thing is, when they bat first, they try bat once.
That's true.
You don't want to lose the game.
Right.
But how England playing cricket now, they adapt the Australian style now, and to an extent the old West Indian style.
Right. Well,
they come after you.
I was going to say the old West Indian style. I spoke about last week, Saturday, that these guys now playing West Indies cricket.
Exactly.
They used to play
they come after you.
Yeah.
So, like, I think Andy mentioned it too now. Even over it might be slow.
Right.
The amount they won score. You have Sunday game done with test match done with spear and half a day. So even though they get in out of overs.
Right.
How the game was played and how they attack you.
That's true.
And England started playing a lot of attacking cricket.
Yeah.
And England, the chase there was not their chase though.
No.
Was not their chase though. Jason White brought his IPL stuff to the house.
Right. Base though. Right.
Yeah. And the captain.
Captain Ben Stokes.
And the man rooting up slow through the battle there, you know what I mean? So the man can play the game good enough.
Right.
And the pitch in England, you know, I haven't been there. The pitch in England, pretty good pitches now.
Right, yeah, good for batting.
Outfield good, is good. The man can tap you, ready to score.
And the coach too is an attacking player.
Yes.
So no, he never tell them to go there and judge the game, go win this game.
That's the only thing he know.
Yeah, that's attacker. He's very attacking player.
That's the only thing he knows.
I think he's the one that break Vin Richards, the fastest test century. He have it right now. McCallum, right in New Zealand. That's what break Vin Richards right now.
He played test match, he played like he
played 2020.
Why I said man we test cricket.
So he was an excellent addition for the coaching squad for England. You know, he have done one.
I don't know the accident until when they start to lose matches, they don't know if the accident or not. It is style good.
Well, you have to a good start.
Well, look.
You know, England cricket was in the shatters all these months. I don't
know if England cricket was in the shatters now. You can't straight to that. England has some goodish players now.
Right.
But what happens? Sometimes they're good as you play against.
That's true.
At the same time, sometimes they fail. They get me come from.
Well, let's say the red bar side have been doing so well. As the right bar side, I should say. So maybe I should correct myself. I start correcting. But it was a good start to the series.
Yeah, good start.
So that's really nice. Very good start. So I think next test match is this weekend. I think next test match is next weekend. Start next week Thursday. I think the test match, final test match. Yeah. Well, I think what I heard on the news that in New Zealand camp there are a few guys with COVID.
Well, Christmas we get couple now.
So there might be a challenge here in terms of getting a good play level to come out there and play the last test match there. You know.
Okay.
So it's going to be very challenging for New Zealand to try and maintain, at least get a victory in the series. You know, because as I said, they have some COVID challenges in the squad. I think 5 or 6 players they say tested positive COVID in the New Zealand squad.
Yes, well,
yeah, so that might be a challenge. Yeah.
That's one thing that the cricket happened to be a little dilemma. I call it dilemma.
Right.
Maybe not a good choice of word.
Right.
But yeah, the tour, you have the Williamson, the captain, the last test,
Right.
couldn't play because of COVID.
Right.
There are kind of COVID issues, you know. But what I understand, they're in this bubble.
Right.
The whole this bubble just bust. Okay, I was telling somebody the other day, you know, take for example, I was talking the guy in Myers and somebody who came up from the Pakistan.
Right.
When they come, they go straight in the bubble.
Right.
The family can't see them now.
No, they can't. No, they have time to spend time.
They tell you go mingle.
And the game is so, the turnaround between games is so quick.
Exactly.
That I think the test match in St. Lucia start, I think maybe Thursday or Friday next week. And by the time this game done, it's time to catch a flight and go again.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
we're busy again. You know?
yeah.
So, man, I tell you, the life hard.
Yeah.
The life hard, man. Be honest with you. I mean, in the bubble, man, that must be boring.
And fatigue, and fatigue, and mental fatigue and stuff. Yeah. Plays a lot with you.
If there are some games to play like dominoes or card game or so, keep it occupied a little bit. But still, man, that hard.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, man.
I was just talking to a youngster there about the same stuff now too. In this international sports now, you gotta be so mentally tough because the rigors you have to go through with different bubbles, as you say, and stuff like that, and still have to go there and train and stuff. It takes a lot out of you.
I know. I remember when the Junior World Cup, the 90 World Cup was here. We went to do a show there with Kenneth.
Right.
And then went out to check, made some shots, and they tell you can't go on the field.
Right.
You can't go close.
Because the bubble.
The bubble.
Right.
Nobody can touch the ball, only them can touch the ball and so trouble kick ball.
Right, yeah.
By the time I said this COVID bubble.
It's a different age of cricket now. Okay, when the ball goes in the crowd, wipe it with sanitizer and stuff like that.
I get it stuff like that. I get it stuff.
A total different affair.
So I tell you, I've seen it. Okay, I would tell you, I don't get like a shots in them guys. They went to this stuff and go in the field and went, hey, no.
Right.
Then the ball goes, I don't play. So people try to go,
Yeah.
So I tell you, the different scenario these days.
Right.
I've seen it. So I can tell you how that, you know, we have to stay in their own like a environment.
Right.
Even the guys who like, what we call them?
The match referees?
Match referee and the guys, anti guys who assist the teams.
Right. You talk liaison officers.
Liaison officers.
Right.
They're now in that bubble and stay.
Yeah.
You can't go home and argue something.
Yeah, that's what I think. Shaft was a liaison officer for either England or India under 19 in the World Cup. And you have to stay at the hotel, they couldn't go home and stuff like that.
Can't go home.
Right to the hotel bed.
Yeah.
They couldn't leave compound. But if you leave compound, that's it.
Yeah.
They can't come back.
That's what it works. I know. Somebody will check you maybe a week before they come as well.
Correct.
When they come and check you, make sure you're all right.
Yeah, because they don't want you affect the players.
No.
Because that cause big disarray.
I tell you what,
you know?
but all this stuff it's still good we can still have cricket.
Right.
We gotta check. This COVID thing is still around.
Yep. Not going one place.
So I'm telling you, man.
So I would learn how to adjust.
Yeah, you have to adjust.
But in terms of that, the same Bangladesh game though, the left hander there, I think Tamil Iqbal. I think he's a big player. I think they say he scored over 5,000 test runs.
Yeah.
But he seems to be in a bit of a spot with in terms of that batting.
I give you a joke about that. I was watching that, not any local stuff commentators now. Right. The international one and my other network, my app.
Right.
And they were pointing out something to me. They were pointing out something was weakness.
Right.
And I was laughing. Okay, I'll tell you something to tell you all guys at factory.
Right.
You'll plan the front for the cars a week before ball.
Right.
So hit you on the pad.
Right.
So you go on inside here.
Yeah. Can you get cramp behind down leg side after Azar in first innings?
You cramp up.
So you cramp up your style.
Yeah, cramp up. You get me going.
Yeah. Weeks. What's up, man? What's up, my brother, man? Happy to see you.
Coming from work.
You're hiding from us?
No, not really. Not really, very busy.
How is season going so far in England? What season?
the school season is going very well. The first 11 is unbeaten. The second 11 I've had a difficult time. I just been on the 14th today because they were fixed for the first and second 11, so we played the final game today, which was quite a comfortable win. Then the 14th squad, so there are some age group currently players, not really on the 14th team, so they're the first team to play for you this time really.
Right. So you play your team playing any games today?
So today, the school fixtures today was year 7, which is under 12s, year 7 to 13, year 9 to 14, and year 10 under 15. They were first and second team fixtures today. I had no fixtures today. But I took the under 14s today, quite an easy win against industry. They got 125 and 30. We knocked them off in 21 overs to 2.
Okay. Well, I have a great man next to me in the studio. I feel real big now. Mr. Kenneth Flipper Benjamin. Good morning. Good morning to you, man. Good morning to Les Boy Meet in England. How are you doing? Well, everything quiet, you know. Well, life is alright, you know. I'm not complaining. Just watching the West Indies making, you know, heavy weather of this test match. Unlike England versus New Zealand, huh?
Yeah, we got more stomach than the rest of the people. We're good. I know that's really stupid for them. That's not cricket for me. There's no real ambition or no real sort of cricket being played by the West Indies team. I watched the one day season against Pakistan. That was a little bit better. But test match cricket for the West Indies, I think it's going over really, I'm afraid.
I think one of the things that I noticed, and I just heard Taddy and Earl discussing the New England coach and the style that he brings. At least we can say that there is a style, there is something that he's trying to achieve. But when you watch the West Indies play, you really wonder, you know, what is it that we're trying to achieve? Is it just to bat? If someone say yes, we just want to bat, we're developing the guys so they can spend time at the wicket, I'll put my hands up and say, okay, fair enough. But as it is, we really don't know what is the objective of what we saw on the first day and yesterday. On the first day, we batted 40 odd overs and scored 90 some runs. You know, test match cricket, I think, has improved because of T20 and 50 over, where people show more intent to score with less risk. You know, you run well between the wicket, you add a lot of singles. Before time, I remember a long time, singles wasn't important in test cricket. Now it is. People want every single, every opportunity to score. You know, and they even add in the little reverse here or there, which I'm not really for that in test cricket, but they even do that because they're finding ways to keep scoring so they can pressure the other team, but we're not doing that.
I totally agree with you. All the situation, there's no clear philosophy in terms of the Western cricket team at the moment. It's quite evident to see there's no philosophy. You got to have somebody at the top with the ideas for the players to buy into, and I don't think the players buy into it. Also, the joy with the actual confusion is that test cricket isn't a shop window anymore for these players. If you look at how they're playing in the test game, how they're playing the T20, the one-day game, the one-day game and the T20 game is a shop window for these players to showcase, the IPL contracts, the big bash contracts, the CPL contracts. We play for the country and play on test match cricket. It isn't a shop window. There's a big emphasis on test cricket in the Caribbean. Everybody wants to go and have the lucrative deals playing in the IPL, playing the big bash. So unless we get somebody with a clear real philosophy, or unless we get to get the players to play better, I'm afraid we're going on a blind road. You look at all the top 5 batsmen, they've got this modular process. The batsman on the stump in the move, So, everybody's making it off, or everybody was pudding. There's no clear process in the batsman. You haven't got an idea. And it seems to me they've been told how to bat rather than having a relationship with the coach and trying to find a way. Everybody's just the same. You're moving to play ball out of off stump and the batsman in the race below the stumps. Clearly, if that happens to you in the process, you have to react to the ball and your feet don't go anywhere. So you always play out in front of you. And I've said that for the last 3 or 4 years.
That's right. Now, I was picking up on something the flipper said. At least England has a style. They're going to aggressive. But West Indies don't want to bat. But not even that they can do well. The guys are still getting out cheaply. So, right. And how they get out too, I don't understand it. So it's something about it which I don't understand. But I want to pick up on something you said too, Because I've been arguing this case now that you look at a guy like Hetmeyer, you look at a guy like the poor one, and they started this nonsense with Pollard, thinking there's 20 batsmen and all that. Then guys are guys with plenty of skill. Why would they have them playing more 40 cricket so we can get them guys stay there and bat long? Because I remember a long time ago now, Gavaskar was his number 3 or 4 batsmen for India. Even the Mark War guy. When they start playing 50 overs, they start open. So you can occupy the crease.
Shandapal.
Yeah, get up there early and battle long, and if you can stay there with 50 overs, then the guys have a century.
But you said something there, Taddy. You spoke about Pollard, Hetmeyer, and Puran, and you said why they can't get them. But the thing about it, do they want to?
Well, this is the problem, people. If they don't want to, West Indies should get
And maybe that's why.
Yes, Guy Weeks.
They don't want to play. They don't want to play Test cricket. They're not interested in it. Like I said earlier, it's not a shop window. Test cricket in the Caribbean is not a shop window. Playing for your country at Test cricket is not a shop window anymore. You look at how we get up for these T20 games, when they play T20, they opt for it because if they do well, then they offer them lucrative deal to play in the IPL and the Big Bash. They're not interested in playing Test cricket.
But that's right. But look at in the team, Australia team, other teams, plenty of man play test guys at 20 guys.
Yeah.
So we should encourage them to play hard. That's
a different nation, Taddy. It's a different nation, a different mentality. The attitude towards Test cricket in the Caribbean is so poor. Nobody wants to play cricket in the West Indies anymore. At test level.
Look at
how many players have retired from playing the game. They don't want to play. We have the same thing in England now with Yadni Rashid and the obvious world. They want to white ball, look at the contracts. Yadni Rashid don't play for Yorkshire in the 4-day game anymore. He plays a white ball cricket. Samit Patel at Knox. He don't play for Knox in the 4-day competition anymore. He just plays the signing white ball contract. They're not interested in playing the longer version of the game for whatever reason.
But that's why they have a wider pool to choose from. Bear that in mind. But I was saying to you, if you encourage the Hetmeyers and the poor ones to play Test cricket, because they came in the scene playing 40 cricket, They came get recognition for playing 40 cricket, not from 2020. They even Pollard scored a few centuries in 40 cricket before he came this one-day specialist. So our cricket have a lot of problem because our better players not getting playing the Test cricket.
But the thing is that is it the pathway? Because if we go back, and I've heard you've been calling for this now for years. What happened to Lee Williams 3-day tournament? What happened to the West Indies under 19 3-day tournament and the under 15 2-day tournament? Now, if we go back, like Les Roy said, and look at the philosophy, the pathway, if these guys play the red ball, white clothes for a longer period, over 2 and 3 days, from under 15 come all the way up, I think we'll see more people gravitating towards that. But when a guy just 15 and start playing T20, then they make an island team playing T20, they get into a CPL franchise, and he make a little money. Why would he want to go back and look over there where he's not sure about playing Test cricket and so on? So I think we need to go back into the pathway and to how we bring through these young cricketers.
You're so correct. Okay, I'm glad you remind me now. Because in India, I follow them a lot. The 15 or so is 40 cricket.
I tell you what, the Indian coach, when they were playing the under 19s, I was in South Africa with the West Indies under 19, and I spoke to the Indian coach, and he said to me, some of these boys is the first time they're playing white ball cricket, and that is only because they have to play for India. He said the first time, he said they only play red ball cricket 2, 3, and 4 days at age 19. Some of them never play white ball cricket before, and so that is why we see, because guess what? They are developing a base, the fundamentals. Yeah. These guys can play cricket. Right. So if you say to them, we're going to play 50 over cricket, and this is what I want you to do. The fact that they have the basics, they just apply it.
They can just like it.
Exactly.
So they prepare them to play cricket. We're like we're preparing people here to play.
As a matter of fact, Dallas mentioned that a couple of weeks ago in Australia.
Yeah.
They only maybe twice a year they might play white ball. They young guys play white ball.
There you have it.
Yeah.
There you have it.
So I was saying to you, we follow some kind of nonsense story around here that and we let them get away with it, but still flip it correct. We don't put the plan in place. That's the key. Can we argue for years now? When the last time you played 3 or 40 cricket?
Well, I tell you what. I tell you what is that Kareem Agor. I think, and I want to congratulate him. I think he's got a contract for Leeward Islands.
Okay.
Him and Darren Benter. Nice. You know, we keep secrets around here, but I don't keep secrets, especially good news. Kareem Agor never played 3D cricket for Antigua. He's 24 years old.
Okay.
He has never played 3D cricket for Antigua, and he's been dying to do that. All he wants to do is to play red ball cricket, but he's find himself playing for USA T20 50 overs because that's the only opportunity. That is it for him. He's 24 years old and he's never played a 3-day game for Antigua.
Yeah. And that's a part of our biggest problem, Flipper.
The last people that played 2-day cricket for Antigua is people like Rakim, Cornwall, and so on.
And so I had Enoch on the show and said, explain to him, look, so what happened in Trinidad the other day. He had been saying that bring all the teams in one country, make it cheaper, and they play 3-day cricket. And
I add something to that, Leroy. We know times are hard. For instance, once you come up to Antigua, the guy is not from the onset. You're not staying in a fancy hotel. You either walk with a chef or hire a chef here. You rent a nice big house. Obviously the ABC would have invested in some of those little air beds, right. And they give them, and people, all you need to do is at night is have somewhere to sleep, because you get up in the morning, you're going to play cricket. When the game finishes, you're going home. So at the end of the day, we can do this.
I know that. I mentioned that Enoch now. Matter of fact, the food and say gets a hotel organized stuff, bring lunch for you and breakfast.
As a player, all you can say about is a good place to rest and food.
So you can be done. Look, I even mentioned him now. Look here. For the expense.
All those things are secondary. Let's get the form. Let's have a restructure, because it's clearly he wants restructuring. Because the growth of the best players in the Caribbean have been stopped through franchise cricket. Because I grew up as a 15-year-old playing against some of the best batsmen in the Caribbean for Antigua, the Eddie Richardson, Joe Barclays at 15 and 16-year-olds, Nelson versus Antigua. That's how I learned my trade. Not playing a 3-hour game. Playing 4 overs. You can't learn me proper skills.
That is for the crowd.
A game for 3 hours. For 3 hours.
Yeah.
Right? 3 hours. You can't learn me skill. So you practice all year round. And we rock up and we play a 3-hour game in a row.
Look, that's why I always tell my good friend Enoch, this plan is so difficult now. Because take for example, let's Antigua team for that matter. You get a cost factor, the budget, and say you can cost Antigua team 50,000. You can make 50,000, 100 people in Antigua $500.
Right.
Work out to be 50,000. Instead of 1,000 people, 500 people, wherever that may be. So, and then the social has like money to put together. You do it in every country. And when you come here, have a cost factor put together, say, look, hotel, this and that, I guess we'll get it with juice price. Food and cars, this, like if people say, walk in a chef.
Right.
If the chef with you cook.
Yeah, save you.
So there's no, in my opinion, And that can happen in Antigua. We have no venue in Antigua, a venue in St. Kitts.
St. Kitts.
Can accommodate that.
It can be St. Kitts Nevis.
Take for example, yeah, and I mean, Angola, St. Martin, but you can bring it by. Look, you swear to say what you flavor. That was my plan. Angola and St. Martin can play for the tournament. Nevis and St. Kitts back Antigua Montserrat. But then they bring all the team meeting Antigua now.
Yes. I've been in teams flipper. I've been in real team flipper. We stay in schools, police stations, barracks in St. Kitts. People remember we stayed in the Antigua in the St. Kitts fire station. Nevis versus Barbados. We didn't stay in the fancy hotel.
What happens?
It's not about fancy hotel. It's not about fancy hotel and what it's about cricket. It's about rebranding the Caribbean cricket. Forget about all this three-hour game we playing, bish bang wallop thing. I ain't got no interest in that whatsoever. I ain't got no interest whatsoever in T20 cricket. I want to see people. I've offered my services now for the last 5 years, and nobody took me the offer. I can come back, do the coaching. If it takes me a month, 2 years, I'll come back and do it. The problem is, it seems to me there's a problem in the Caribbean where people don't want to coach, and the players want it. If the players want it, okay, there's no point you open the front door and they walk to the back. You have to create the environment for them. They walk in, you gotta trap them and keep them there. You gotta say the right things, you gotta have the right structure, the right coaching philosophy. Coaching is hard. Coaching is very easy if you have the environment for the players to grow. It's a relationship between coach and players. And I'm convinced somewhere along the line in the Caribbean, there's not many coaching going on, or this wants restructuring. I've been on the radio programs with Kenya Hyman, Fitzgerald Buffon, and all these people. Hugo came as a guest. It needs restructuring. It's dying fast. And this T20 rubbish that we keep playing is destroying the history of the cricket in the Caribbean.
What?
Destroying.
That's right. I want to interject something because I want to finish my thought earlier. Because I remember I brought the team on Trinidad here.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And the state of police.
When Rick Bishop was there, and sometimes when I used to go to Trinidad, those guys always reach out.
And they stayed at police ground.
Yes.
Now I'm saying, I mentioned when Enoch, at the stadium, when they had the hurricane stuff, people stayed there. So we can accommodate that these 4 teams, maybe one can say defense force and so on, make it cheaper with them. You have to sell the idea that this is in your best interest to develop your cricket. Because the Antigua team, they might want to facilitate their home. Mm-hmm. So when you look for about 5 teams or something, 4 or 5 teams, and you're good to go,
But why is it so difficult for this to happen? Because he listened to you, Flipper, and Les Roy, and the guys that enjoy in the cricket. Why is it so difficult for it to happen?
I tell you what, Les Roy mentioned the point about it needs to restructure and so forth. And this, you see, what we have to be very careful of is that people, Taddy, and I realize that with people, everybody is saying restructure, it needs restructuring, and that is true. What we need to do is to tell them how to restructure it, because they're going to say, well, we tried so many things, then they're going to tell you what. But if you give them 2 or 3 options as to this is how you can do it, then they have no excuse.
Right.
Because just like what Taddy's saying, to have the senior tournament like how we do the youth tournaments. I went to St. Kitts and we stayed, and Montserrat, I played youth cricket in Montserrat with Taddy, 1980. We stayed in the school.
Yeah.
And nobody had any complaint. The only time you go inside the school was when you want to sleep.
Right.
And you sleep for 6-7 hours, then you're out again, up and about.
Right.
So this can happen with the senior team because we are struggling for cash, and I have no issues with that. But there are ways around it.
That is true, it's in your best interest now. It's your development. You can't think you want to stay in some 3-star, 5-star hotel when they can't afford it. But you have to put things in place to make it happen. Because like I say, a flip up and saying, unless we're going to play 4-day cricket, people can develop. Look, if you check, I will keep telling you, when I check India cricket, then guys on the 14, the 15 doing this, have triple century, century. Anybody stands so hard at 10 wicket, now put on the bat. After the bat. Yeah, put on the bat, Then guys out, a lot of centuries now.
Right.
Them guys who come in India, the 19 and so the number 3 batsman, the captain and so them had plenty century they have, you know.
Right.
Do you remember when it was really forced, when we forced the Cricket Association to play 3-day cricket?
Right.
Yeah.
You play 40 over on the Saturday, then you start 3-day on the Sunday.
I remember that.
Saturday, Sunday. You know how many double centuries Boobin to score?
Right.
What if that was still happening?
Right,
And
right.
I'm talking about, this was about 10 years ago. What if we were still doing that? What if we were still doing that?
We get better batsman.
Because, like Paddy said, you're spending more time in the wicket, and you're starting to learn. Why last week I didn't bat so long? What mistakes I made? How do I spend more time in the wicket? And because you're doing it more and more often, the more we do things, the better we get at it.
Right.
Not only that, no flavor. Not only that, you know. My biggest beef, you know, with the story, you know. When I watch cricket going, you know, there are plenty young boys have plenty of talent now. But they're not given the opportunity to develop.
Right.
Give and take, Cricket Association will have 2 days.
Right.
But when they leave 2 days, play Leeward and 2 and they play 50 overs. So they get in the batting now.
Yeah.
When I select I tell them, it's a nonsense. When the first 2 and 3 guys, bap, take some time and back there.
How long now in Lewis have been playing 50 over in Antigua, Munster have been playing 50 over cricket instead of 2-day cricket?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Karim is 24, and Karim, the last 3-day tournament, I think, was with people like Rakim Cornwall and so on.
So up now, nobody can put their head together and fix. Well, I guess maybe, as I said, we have an idea how to do it.
I'm saying to
Because the important people who can fix it are such a but they're invited because they don't believe in it. You know? Why can't you, Taddy, why can't Kenny, why can't all the ex-professional cricketers or all the superstars get their head together and come up with an idea to rectify this absolute horror show? That's the problem I have. We need Kenny Benjamin, we need all the experts, guys that have all the knowledge to get on these boards and sort this rubbish out, because at the moment it's rubbish.
I tell you what, Les Roy, is that a couple of years ago, I was with TDO for Leeward Islands Cricket Board, paid by Cricket West Indies. And the teams were complaining about they don't have money for the Leeward Islands tournament. So what we did, Antigua hosted Montserrat and I think Anguilla. And St. Kitts went to Nevis to play, and then St. Martin came up and played. And then the winner from that 3-team group play against the winner from the 3-team group, Antigua, Montserrat, and Anguilla. And we did that for 2 years. And after the 3rd year, they said that I was fired. The members of the Leeward Islands board said I have too much power.
Wow.
No, I say that to say this. It seems to me like around Leeward Islands, and we are a strange place, if you notice who is around the cricket, not the big influential people, the people that maybe use their tongue a lot. You know, people just want to have a position, not for the interest of developing the cricket, but just to say, I am Mr. This and I am Mr. That. And so that is why you find the Kenny Benjamin and the Taddy Arizona, not their own Leeward, because they don't want us. Because we make too much sense. If you understand what I mean.
Well, I sat
So they want 1 second, that's why. So that they want nonsense people.
No, they want people who they can control, people who will just toe the line.
But that made the cricket.
They want less people.
Exactly.
No, less people. They want people to say yes. They want confrontations. When you're trying to fix it and trying to find a solution, there will be confrontations. We're not going to make friends for life. We're going to make changes for the best of West Indies cricket. We have to go and be everybody's friend, everybody's body and back slapping and arguing. The only way you're going to rectify it. You know, Brendan McCullum came to the England team, and all the noise over here, Brendan McCullum don't play test match cricket, he has a coaching experience. It's only one thing he's got. He's got a formula. He's got a philosophy. Okay? He might not be the most fantastic coach. You just want to get people to buy into what you're trying to do. You want to be everybody's friend.
See.
Not everybody's friend. And long as you get everybody on board and buy into what you're trying to achieve, it's pretty easy. What Kenny Benjamin is saying basically to me here is that the hierarchy don't like to hear people talk and tell them the truth.
What? Let's go.
Change is hard. I know change is hard. But it's time the Caribbean people in charge of these of associations get with the program. People don't like change, they embrace change. And Kenny Benjamin is there with all the expertise. You are there with all the expertise. Why can't you go on that board and sort things out? What Kenny's saying, they like yes people. People just say yes and say yes and say yes. And that confrontation, you have confrontation to try and change things and it change for the better. So be it.
But I would say something else, that's why Flipper keep mentioning, which I've been hammering for years, the development plan. Because I kind of get the impression they think when they play like a Lions to anti-local 2-day cricket, and play a 50 over match, and you pick a team like call it development. But that is the furthest from the truth. I was saying to you, this is why Parish League have all those tours. We should take our players, invite teams here, so they can play against different competition. That's why develop players now. Because I remember when I played for Antigua, and so I used to play against Guyana and Trinidad. So invite them here, and we play against them. So when you play against guys from Trinidad and Jamaica and Guyana and so, and you see, hey, they're not much better than me. I go back in that to work harder. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
My rudest experience was 1972, I keep saying it, when Antigua played against Trinidad, they had 2-day game. And at the time, and there was a young guy, they didn't play test cricket yet, and Charlie Davis and so on, was Western's big batsman. And I said, I was running the man on the wicket. And I tell myself, I want to say he's the best batsman, he no good. That's because I played against Andrew for years and Vivian so bang about and Vivian not doing nothing. So we went over and Vivian said, hey boy, because you have, how are you not making ones in what's called Shell Shield? And then Jokey man they went for Andy make ones. Man, I will do better than that man. But I was saying to you,
we said something a while ago, not the cross country, but
so
about
I'm
the
saying
plan.
that's even without the experience, if they're going to work shows with them, like Flipper will tell you, we went out to Bermuda, play against MCC and so down there. So these guys get a chance to see MCC guys, English guys, play against them and say, hey, we bang them off too. But when they count the bang off, no. The important thing is you play against those guys, they experience again. When we went to England, we played against a guy named Damian Martin. Almost every match you play.
Yeah.
And you play for Australia eventually. A couple of Australian guys and South African guys and so. But our guys, I took the guys to England so they get the English condition, the experience. That's what development goes on. Just play amongst yourself. So you have to have something. This is what I'm saying to you. Take an example. A young guy from Montserrat. A young guy from St. Kitts and Nevis. Then they get the chance to play living at home, so they get to pick for Liverpool team, you know. There's somebody might suggest, this young boy somewhere, but nobody will see the guy, you know.
Right.
Just like the other day, they pick a woman team, your team for Liverpool, and then they play the cricket, there's sense of yourself. So, you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. I can't help it, but that's how cricket is supposed to.
So come back down to the structure and the guys that are in charge. So what I need now is to get technical people around them to get like advise them about the cricket.
See, you see, here is it now. We're hitting and we're talking about Leeward Islands level. But if you watch the local association, it's the same thing.
It is, yeah.
What do we have in terms of development in Antigua?
Right.
Nothing. And so it goes up to the Leeward Islands. And so with all due respect, when guys get selected for the West Indies, we may cost West Indies Cricket Board and all the kind of things and so forth and whatever. But if the local boards and the regional boards do not have development program, how are we going to produce world-class players for West Indies cricket? This is where it starts.
Exactly.
This is actually where it starts. You understand? So that when a guy go to play Leeward Islands, look, when I went to play Leeward Islands tournament, and I can remember this, when we were going to play for Leeward Islands on the 19th, Taddy said 3 words, then I better than I know. And I never forgot that. And when I went, I said, boy, Taddy, right now. But the fact that we were prepared, you understand, we went down there with this belief that, hey, this is equal.
Right.
But our young guys don't think that way anymore. Because we just bring them together for 2 days, they play two-day matches, then they have to play 3-day cricket at R19 level. Not prepared. So we need to start here. And I can tell you this, I gave the Cricket Association a document. I gave them a document, the under 13 document for under 13 and on the boys and girls. But probably it's in file 13 somewhere.
Wow.
You understand? And so the thing about it is that unless we're not going to do that, we will never ever see a change in the Leeward Islands level. And if Leeward Islands don't put our youth structure in place, we will never, just like the other countries are trying to do, we're not going to see West Indies cricket rise. I think we're the salt in the pot. I think the cricketers from the Leeward and Windward Islands have something unique that help to bind. Sure. You understand? When we're doing well, the boys from the so-called bigger islands have to just stand aside because, hey, these guys bring something different. And I don't think it is a coincidence that when the West Indies team had good players from the Leeward Islands and the Windward Islands, West Indies cricket was doing well. You understand? I think that all of this infighting and so forth needs a stabilizer, and we are that. So we got to fix this here, or else West Indies cricket will never be fixed. That's my belief. Okay,
I like my car some time ago. So we never start get maybe some primary school cricket, that age group. Because I was saying to you, when they start them in primary school, the oldest person might be 12 years old now in primary school.
Right.
Usually 11, but not one or two, maybe 12. But when you start, as a flipper said, they're 13. It's the same concept.
Right.
Same concept, primary school. Because when I say something to you, like, there were people getting fame, playing for boys school and primary school league,
Right.
A lot of people didn't know that, maybe most people don't know that. Because in the 60s and so on, that a real vibrant primary school cricket,
Right.
Some of the teachers who played with the teams.
I remember even in when I was watching, I remember people like Bess Spencer and so on playing with Liberta.
Yeah.
Some of the teachers used to play.
They know 2 or 3 teachers with the team, so they keep them, make sure they behave themselves. But I remember somebody's come and tell me Vivi knocked 6 old when I had a coconut, when Vivi was 12 and 13 and so. Say the boy is strong a long time, man.
But back to what people were saying with that document there. What I know in Antigua, people tend to label you, because of what happened long time days and stuff. But people tend to label you like if you're an outspoken person, they say that you're rude, you're this. But I always believe it's not about the message, the messenger. It's the message that was important. So if forget about the messenger, but listen to the message. That's the key.
Boy, I'm 55 years now, and if we still rude up to now, then we have a problem.
Well, I was a big rude. I'll tell them that all the time.
Let's wait the earth. Let's wait the earth. Well, we don't mind the couple them, they're 14 or something, but we know you couple them.
But the program that he have, the document that he have, that's just on somebody's desk. Why that document was never taken up is because it was written by Kent and Benjamin. That's what I want to know. You understand? Because people, as I said again, people always look at the messenger and not look at the message.
I agree with you.
No, the message was important.
No. Let me say something to you. That's the document Flipper gave them. It's a great document, but so they don't have the will to get it done.
Right.
You have to want to do something to get it done now.
That's true.
You have to want it. I'm saying to you, that idea I push with the primary school, that can come out with vamping. You got to get more coaches and so on.
Right.
You got to get more coaches because it's something I did a long time ago for Guy, when Guy was minister. You zone them. You have all of the early in primary school. You have Bowlands, you got Jennings. And the primary school, Golden Grove and Bendel and stuff. You have all them in one zone, They play amongst themselves. Then you can select a team now.
And that was because when I used to play junior cricket, because seniors used to go to the primary schools up to 16 and so on.
Yep. Right.
You have a junior and senior on the 19s and on the 16s. And that's what it was. They had 3 zones. So you find there was a zone with Liberta and Alsains and Sweets and Wilkes, and so then you have a South zone and then a Central zone and so on. And then the 3 winners would come and see who is the champion.
Right.
Because when Toddy saw me first, that was my first year of playing school cricket. I was 14.
Right.
I didn't play any primary school cricket because I went to JT Ambrose, which was then All Saints Primary. So I didn't go to Liberta Primary School.
Right.
So I didn't play any primaries. But the fact that when Toddy saw me, they invited me down to combine school.
Right.
So I wasn't just no big enough. Right. So where did I play my cricket? In the community.
Right.
Playing softball in the court, playing with the big boys and so on. And that is something that we are missing right now. We are missing people playing cricket in the community so that when they go to school, the coaches would have to be to teach them to hold a bat and them kind of stuff then so forth. And so it requires a whole planning and a whole comprehensive program as to how we're going to go back to the 70s. But it will be more organized, because our cricket in the community wasn't organized. It was like, hey, me and Parish and a couple of the guys just pick a side and we walk into the streets and we play a game. You know, I'll say come over, or we don't play to a different side of the village. But if we can get that more structured now, but still let them play that type of casual cricket in the communities, I guarantee you the amount of talent we're going to see.
Discover.
And then is where now we can go back to combined schools, because there'll be more than enough players, quality players coming out of the school program because of that. And you would need that because the clubs wouldn't be able to absorb all. You understand? And so it is really and truly, it needs, well, somebody don't sit down and look at it. It just needs some people to listen and to stop looking at who is talking.
Well, that's what
and just listen to the message and say, hey, that makes some sense.
Right.
And like Taddy now says as well, get the will. If you don't have the will, hire somebody to run the program for you. That's simple. Look, we don't have the skill set in the association, but we're going to hire Earl and Arden and so forth. We want you all to execute this program for us.
Right.
Simple as that.
So that's why what your connection with Monstrat man, the simple. What can you play down there?
That's Dallas.
That's Dallas. That's why still Weeks still there? Left. Oh, Dallas.
What's up, mate?
What's up? Hey, Flipper, that's it.
You good?
You want me to go,
So I'm saying, Flipper mentioned a while ago, okay, if you're taking the East,
right,
you got Willie kids to the primary school. Free down to the primary school, you can feel PS.
Glam is a primary school?
No, Glam not anymore. But your power, Freeman's Village.
But I'm sure you can get guys in those schools that still fit the age group.
Definitely.
That still fit the age
That's the key.
Yeah.
That's the key. That was the plan they have the guy. A lot of guys like say if you go grammar school, they're 11 years old and 12 years old.
Yep.
I just picking those two schools. The secondary schools. They have like age group so they can fit into the plan. So I'm saying to you, it's for us to put it in place. But the other problem is that you have to have guys who committed to the plan, want to do it. Just like the fact to do this almost all year round. Identify the guys who want to play cricket. Because some man don't want to play football now.
Right.
But because the cricket they play.
I want to ask Dallas this question. In your club, what's the earliest club teams that you all have? What age groups you all have playing club cricket down there in Melbourne?
We have from age 12.
You're talking about club, not school, club.
No, we have 4 teams, and our 4th-11 team are age 12 up to about age 14. So we have them playing senior cricket at age 12.
Right.
Wait. Why can't senior cricket?
Well, they're playing senior competition. As I said, we have 4 teams that. Flipper, you know this guy, sub-district cricket, right? You play sub-district cricket here, and each club, like my club, for instance, have 4 teams, and the 4 teams play against. Say if you're playing against another team, of all 4 teams are playing against their 4 teams as well too. Right. You know, and it's senior level. It's not juniors or anything like that. It's seniors. You know, so you get. Out of that 14-11 team, you have maybe 9 of them, maybe 9 or 8 of the players are 12, 13, and maybe 14. And
right, so you have like your first team.
2 players are older. They'll be in their maybe 30s or so, just to control some of the young guys, you know, to look after them, you know. Right.
So I think it's similar in England, where you have your first team with the best players. Yeah. Then you have your second team and the third team. Then the fourth team might be maybe 1 or 2 older guys, but mostly 12-year-olds. So even though it is not a junior league, but it is a senior league, but it's 12-year-olds playing against 12-year-olds.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe 1 or 2 senior guys, maybe older guys as well, who don't play or don't have the quality to make the first.
Yeah.
So it's similar to the teacher playing with the school.
That's correct. You know, look,
I agree 100% with what you guys are saying about the structure. There's no structure in place. You know, the guys in Antigua probably don't play enough cricket. You know, they don't play enough, so they're not gonna really perform when they go and try to play for Leeward Lions or something like that, because there's not enough cricket played, you know, for them, you know. And I think that T20 and so is not going to help them if they're going to play 3-day cricket.
I think certainly. I think what happened, you know, and we don't have to reinvent the wheel here, Earl, because just like what he says, no, we probably don't have enough to have 4 teams. But I believe that all of the teams, and this is why I certainly believe that ABCA need to restructure the teams. There are too many teams. I think you want no more than 8 or 6 teams. But it is no sense doing that without just saying to the 6 or 8 teams, you must have a boys and girls under 13 program for the first year. Now, all the villages in Antigua have a primary school,
right.
So you have to confine them. Now, the first year, the quality may not be so great because they're just starting and so on. But you see, we have to start putting some timelines on these programs. Say, look, by 2023, all 8 teams must have a boys and girls under 13. By 2025, all teams must have a boys and girls under 15 and under 13. And then you do zone for the under 17s, and by the under 19s they should be getting into the senior, into the senior club setup and so on.
Right.
And these things can be done. It is just that I must say this: Parish use a word, and Parish use the word lazy. People are lazy, and then Mo Roberts use the word people find themselves artificially busy. Because if you look at how much time it needs for you as an individual to give back to your club or to your community, then we're not asking for more than two hours a week, maybe.
That's true.
2-3 hours a week, you know, and it don't have to be a one time. And so a lot of people find themselves artificially busy. They are too busy now all of a sudden to give back to a club, to give back to a community. But they have the most to say on the social platforms. You know, and this is where we are. We are a country of talkers and very little doers.
Oh, that's true.
And so those of us who are doing need to continue doing, because if we join the talkers, then we're in trouble. But I think for real, Sean, the ABC, there's too much teams playing 2-day cricket.
Right.
I don't mind the 40 overs, you have your 10 teams and the T20 and so on. 2-day cricket, you need some quality.
Right.
But if you cut it down to 8 or to 6, those teams must have a youth program in place, so they can play youth matches on the 13s, on the 15s, because it is not hard to do.
Right. And what that does to, with that youth program there too, the same youngster now can aspire to come up to the senior team too. He might look at the senior team and say, me better here, me better here.
Well, that is the whole thing. It is a whole pathway.
Right.
You left from under 13s, you go to under 15s, then you make your zonal under 17s and under 19s, and then from there you push somebody out, and you would see how easy it would be then to form a Masters League, because if we have quality young boys coming through, they're going to push some of these fellas at the top so hard that they're going to have no choice.
But it's both.
They have to bow gracefully.
No.
You know?
I can't agree that people went there to the extent that I've been arguing this case since Enoch was president. 21st class teams.
Right.
So you have quantity instead of quality.
Right.
And it says a lot. I can give you a joke about that. Up to couple last weekend, a guy called me, wanted to know if he going to play for a certain club.
Oh yeah, I was when he called. Yeah.
But, so the club shot him, man. Yeah. I'm saying to you, hey, and I'm hearing people still applying to go and play first class. Teams don't want to still go play. So I said,
I think boys want to play first class.
why don't want to add more teams and have too many already? He said this will knock out 40 teams. So what happened now? People started to go practice again and get serious and want to play.
I certainly agree. What happens to Dallas here in Antigua? You have 10 teams playing in the ABCA competition, And if a guy don't get play for 2 games, he wants a transfer. Because he realized that all the teams are struggling. And so all the teams are jacking for the same players. Now, if you have 6 teams, and you say to a guy, you and you and you and you and you, 12 man.
Right.
They said, apply the next team. They say, boy, we full up, you know. The only thing they can do is work their butt off and try and improve their cricket. But we are not seeing that. And it's the same with football. So many teams that as soon as a guy don't get a play, he's on the bench, he wants a transfer. Because there's so many teams that they're always looking for new players. Rather than people working. It would be the joy in our day when we turn up and we didn't get to play for combined school or Alberta. We sit down on the bench, we carry out the water. Well, in the outside, nobody carry out the water. But now they have things to do. Things to do, that is a part of cricket as you go up the ladder. So they're still learning the trade, even if they're not playing. And people don't, if they don't get a play, even some of the parents, Dallas, they come and they go, how come my son not play? And where? I am like, this is a problem. And we don't have enough players. We need to reduce the teams to suit what is going to make the cricket better and going to aid development.
No, it's true. There are too many teams and the quality not good. And I think people just, somebody call it, hey, can make it this weekend, come give the I look, when I played the Rising Sun, and I was captain, you don't pick team by Thursday afternoon, no. You have to go practice.
Right.
If you don't go practice 2 days, nobody see you on the team, But we have to practice, and the practice was very important.
Team used to play for Rising Sun, right? Team used to play for Rising Sun?
Not during my time.
Not your time. Oh, God, no. Why I asked
St.
that?
John's, Steve Willis.
Why I asked that? Because last week Thursday we had the funeral for this guy, mother-in-law, for bowlers that died, the army guy. And T will tell me, Mandela boy, they have some guys there, they don't like practice. When I match time, they love shop. So he tell 2 guys, go hold the wicket ball, go hold the pitch and stuff. And he pick the side, you know. And he say, the guy, come on, two as they hold the pitch, come on. So Skip, what are we doing? He say, well, let me go to the side and see. But he say, he don't jump the long time. That's why he got you. Well, Charlie and some out today. That's the 2 guys that you put hold the wicket. He say, well, if I have a play, I'm going to practice. If I have a practice, I can make him resign.
That's what it is.
I got a call from Mark Bowers on the way down.
Right.
And, we were speaking about the combined school issue and so on. And he said to me, who you all bang off today? And I said, oh gosh, why you make sound that way?
Yeah.
He said, well, every time I bang off somebody, I say, oh Lord Mark, why? He said, boy, it must be the cricket boy. Because every time I turn on, I hear 3 and 4 team, you bang off and you're day and half. And
right.
it doesn't sound good. And I tell you, we have to have some pride.
True.
When I listen to the school sports study and all school sports, the scores that I hear,
right.
Basketball, somebody beat somebody 4-3.
Right.
You understand? That's all like a football score, ain't it? Then in football you hear somebody bang somebody 18 none. That's all like basketball. And in cricket you hear some team at 300 and another team at 14.
Right.
So you have to start to say, look, going forward, let us keep the scores off the radio. It doesn't sound good.
Right.
It doesn't sound
But why it does now then we have to do some in-house clean up. Ask yourself now.
I understand, but to start with, you have to say, hey, we can't put these scores on all we need to say, Liberta was defeated by grammar school.
Right.
Oh, Flipper, I want to get back to that thing. Okay, you have me laughing. I can tell you why. When I work in sporting games for many years. And it's a problem with that, Mr. Brand is a crime, Mr. Brand. Why then girls are the people in netball and basketball and the school like Flipper say?
Right.
They're not ready yet for competition.
Right.
Why put them out there for? Working the skills and the practice side, but not competition.
Well, that's why just one step while we need is in-house now. Forget about competition now. And remember when earlier, a couple weeks ago we had, what's his name, Mosai, with school cricket. I was telling Mosai, why are playing school cricket for when the guy's not ready? This is no product to advertise. Suppose I have a sponsor, I want to sponsor school cricket. And see that product there. I spend my money there. Stop watching to do things and do things properly.
And without saying this study, I agree with you all. This is why I said don't put no scores on the radio, because you have to assess. So even if you're doing some work, you want them to play so you can see where they are and what they learn and so forth. But we never put no scores over on something like if a match and so no.
Right.
These matches just to assess
They can
and
play friendly matches.
evaluate.
Right,
They can friendly matches.
So you say, hey Earl, you're coming down by I'm coming down by you Friday.
Yeah.
2 o'clock. We playing a little 25 overs, huh?
Right.
But even on a circle and so on, you bat 25 overs, I bat 25, and we do a little assessment and so on. We have look, we say, Earl, this is a man for me and so. And so we have that discussion because it is not about the scores that come over the radio. It is about the quality.
Right.
And if we're seeing any growth, if we're seeing some progress.
Yeah, get some friendly games in there. Get some friendly, friendly matches, so they can assess them.
Right.
Not real competition.
That is, you can jump in anytime you want, right? That is.
Yeah, man, listen.
So I'm saying to you, man, sometimes push any competition too soon.
Right, exactly.
Before they're really ready.
And I think they do that this year with the school cricket.
Because they know where basketball is going to be 4-3 and that kind of something.
Right.
Then that mean one basket to shoot.
Well, you see, the thing about it is that I know that some of the, for instance, like Liberta, I know YMCA, those basketball rims, they can adjust.
Right.
But they don't adjust them. So the little under 13s, you see that? And the ball
okay.
can't reach up.
Okay.
So
The part of the problem.
they need to adjust them. Come down to the height.
But but I'm not a basketball player. I'm not an expert. But I tell people all the time. A lot of people have the letters behind the name, but some don't have the common sense. That here is a no-brainer. You have a 11-year-old. One should be saying hoop as a 20-year-old and 25-year-old. That doesn't make sense.
No.
Then you have the cricket now. You want to have an 11-year-old with the same big pad like a 15-year-old and stuff.
I want to say something about
It just.
I want to say, okay, basketball, in America, sometimes 11 and 12, 6 foot something, So, but given our stuff around here, I can agree with adjust the nets, with the height. Because I wanted to play the company, let them learn the game. Learn to control the ball, dribble ball, and learn to shoot. But as they get old, they can, height in that can increase.
Right.
Okay, you want to be competitive still.
I know Parish get the blow with school football too, but when they play in the under 13 and so on, they play on a smaller field with smaller goals.
Well, I just said they should play small goal.
They play on a smaller field with smaller goals.
Okay.
And so it suit the age group.
Right.
You understand? So we need to do that with the other sports. If we play netball, we have to find the means. Anybody can do that here. Anybody can just put on a screw up the hoop a little lower. Yeah, so we have to be creative. We are creative people here in Antigua,
Of course.
So we have to be creative. We can't have the little girls still shoot the ball. Not just that, they have different size of balls for different size of children.
Yeah.
All these things that we need to make sure that we do. So just like you said, Taddy, with the planning, you sit down, the coordinators, they say, hey, we're playing under 13 cricket, so it's 4.5, 4.75 balls. We're playing under 13 netball, so it's size 5. Playing under 13 football, so it's size 4. Whatever it is that is required to play this age group, you let the ministry bring them in, not just buy one size to fit all. It can't work. It cannot work.
Yeah.
Because they can get injury because the equipment is too big as well. Huh?
Right.
What you saying, Darius?
No, I'm saying I agree because even in cricket, the young guys, they normally play Friday afternoons and Saturday morning, and they don't use the same size ball like anyone else. I think they use size 142 grams ball, because some of them can't really hold the senior ball, which is 156 grams. So there's a size level there for those kids. Because you won't find them. They'll find a ball bounce 2 or 3 times before they reach the batsman. He's going to use the size ball. So totally agree with Flipper. They need to actually reduce the sizing, reduce the size to the ground as well. Things like that. Get the net lower for basketball or netball, whatever it may be, because some kids can't throw the ball up that high. So 100% agree with that. We need to make things a bit better and common sense, pretty much.
We definitely need to start focusing more on the development of the players, woman, man, woman, everybody. But I said, people said, and I'm going to say again, you need to put it more in the community. Get plenty of people playing. When they start to play now, they identify talent.
Right.
Then they can get them in the program. But until they start playing, just like the woman stuff the other day, you have to start playing women cricket in school, league and all kind of league. The quicker you get them, the earlier you get them, the better, you know. The earlier you get them, the better. But what they think, I don't know. Maybe Liberta says I need a woman team as a part of the club.
Right.
I tell you what, the Cricket West Indies has started an initiative where they wanted, well, they call them clusters. I don't really believe in this clusters thing. And they wanted 3 clusters. The ABCA, in their wisdom, said that they were going to do one at All Saints, one at Pickett's, and one at New Winchops.
Okay.
Now, I got a call from Cricket West Indies study, and they said, they asked the Cricket Association, why y'all didn't come on to Liberta? They have facilities, and they say, oh, whatever. Anyway, they want us to do one. Then they say, no, we have to include Liberta. So we started one. And lo and behold, I said to them, why not speak to Pickett's? So they spoke to Pickett's. Liberta had one, Pickett's had one, and the 3 others that were supposed to be ended up in one at Police Ground. Now what happened is that we played some matches. It was quite good. So just before COVID, we had under 13 girls and boys practicing 3 and 4 times a week, and they were enjoying it.
That's good.
They were really and truly enjoying it. And I said, look, you see how easy this is? They come, they have some fun, you do little coaching here, the little coaching certain things, you teach them about cricket, how to run, how to throw the ball, then you start getting into bowling and so on, and holding the bat and so forth, once they start to enjoy it. I think, and I'm going to put this out there, Taddy, because I've already said it already on another medium. I'm saying to people in your communities for this summer, get 4 or 5 boys or 4 or 5 girls. Organize it. Look, I'm going to have some boys and girls. I know Buddha Barnes is going to have some up at...
Yeah.
John going to have some out Bethesda, and I'm sure TV is going to have some. If you want a game, call me. If you come and you only have 5, we play 7 aside. I will give you 2, we play 7 aside. Whatever the number is, but we need to start it. And then we can either put it to your community club, whatever it is, or if you don't have any community club, we put a little structure, put a little management structure, and so we continue. But we have to start in the communities. We have to start that in the communities. That's how parents and so on will get involved. Because parents and so on working during school time, but if you have a little community on Saturday morning, so the parents bring them down and will get involved and watch, bring a little, the parents stuff. They can bring to a little biscuit and share and so forth. We need to really and truly make a thing. And I'm challenging Taddy.
Oh shit.
That Parish League need to be the driving force behind this community youth program. Forget about the ABCA. It needs to be, the program is there, the execution plan is there, the curriculum is there as to when the coaching start, as to what they should be coached, and the timelines to achieve these certain things and so forth. It is there, but we need to move it, because tell you what, we can't worry about who wants to go test match and be fancy. We know what we love, we know where our passion is. We got to be the driving force behind that.
But they have a good one out. Maybe they have one out over your time about Adi, where we're supposed to go.
Right, that is Adi.
Yeah.
Now imagine you have 8 more that.
Yeah.
Imagine you have 8 hour go on in the whole road.
Right.
Just imagine, the interest that is going to create and so on.
Yeah.
That's the people that's caught me off guard, She got me driving.
But I'm saying, but maybe it's Adi a nice one, and you told the 2 young right now getting, he's still
Adi is pretty young guys.
Right, but you see, that is what Adi is saying, that because we are on the 13s now, and probably there comes space in low, because guess what, there's no competition for them. Only they play against the girls, and the girls bang them off every time. Okay. And so they,
they can play against
so they start problem.
Right.
But you see, the thing about it is that, so if they have young people, and that is my thing, this is probably right.
Right.
This thinking maybe would want the Parish League team.
Right.
But before you get there, you have to have a youth team.
Right.
Because what will happen is that you're going to have Old Road youth team, Liberty youth team, Bowlands, Bethesda, and then in 4 years' time, when those boys become 17, and he put them in the Parish League, welcome to the next set of under 13 boys.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
You can't turn it back on them either.
No, I got plenty young guys.
Right. And
14, 15.
And they're going to grow up.
Right.
They are going to grow up. And when they grow up, you can have one little nephew and one son that come and want to continue.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to have a youth program, not part-time, but full-time, so that as the youngsters come through, they fit right in. And as the first set go out, somebody just move right in. Need to be structured, need to be organized, and I tell you what, it is not difficult to do.
So it
might not be difficult to flip over. I was saying to you, it can be difficult because some of the guys don't have the kind of will like flipper got.
Right.
No, it was just something, almost every community you go into. You want 2 guys to get things done.
Right.
You need some more support.
Right.
But flipper knocking their head now. If you get them parents involved,
right,
those parents going to push that. They're going to push that.
Right.
Because they see the son or the daughter doing something meaningful.
Right.
And they're going to come and support, but when they bring food and breakfast and so cook. So they want them to be part of this whole stuff.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, and if 2 or 3 of them parents like that, what happen with that? Plenty more coming out.
Right.
Because when they're friends Earl. And like I think you said so earlier now, somebody says earlier, when you see where his son or daughter doing wellish, it's not in the name of the way doing something. They think they're better than them. They want to know.
Yeah.
It's because whether you like it or not, even when you go to school, and you're smart, we're going to pick in the big team.
Yes.
So the man think they're better than you know.
Yeah.
They want to practice, okay, they want to get a team now, you know.
Of course.
Right, they always joke, say, make a team, and be better than your man. So no, they don't want to play too. And that's how you get involved. Young people get involved all the time.
We are naturally competitive. One of the advantages that the community involvement does as well is that we are all from Liberta.
Yeah.
We play for Liberta, we play against All Saints, and we have a little rivalry. But guess what? Next week, all of us down at All Saints School.
Right.
Yeah.
So so we meet up, so we realize no, we're competing for this one spot in the All Saints team. That is going to really and truly lift the quality of school cricket, because the rivalry in the communities and they meet up in the school, you understand? And you're going to really see, because that's what used to happen. And I always say, what man has done, man can do. We can go back to what was happening back then and structure it, still give them their leeway, let them play, let them start with even with the softer ball. Because what I did with my little under 13 boys, that I got people to buy gloves. So they got the hardball glove, they got the hardball bat. But we use a softball. So they get accustomed, they have the batting helmet, small helmet, so they bat with the bat. So the only thing now with the pad, we don't let them put on the pad, we let them run with the pad.
Okay.
We do running drills. Because you know when they're small, when they start with their foot stiff, like over, they have to say, hey, the pads can bend. And so after a couple of times, they start to get accustomed to it, and the keeper have to keep in their gloves, even though it's a soft ball. So they get accustomed to that. And like I say, there is a curriculum, so you can see, look, after 2 weeks, they should be able to hold the bat with the glove. Maybe after 6 weeks, you should be able to run in the pad. So you have an idea as to what you're working to. And if this goes right across the 6 or 7 communities, you have a meeting and say, hey, where with the community, say, boy, I have some problems, my boys still struggling with the pad. They say, okay, we give an extra 2 weeks going forward. So you know exactly after a year, you're ready to play some matches, because everybody is accustomed to the equipment, everybody can run and throw and all these kind of things and so forth, you know. And Paddy made a point, and I was leaving this for now, it's going to be difficult because we're going to have some people who don't want to buy in. They're going to find a reason why it can't work.
But then, but at the end of the day, you have to ask, what's the goal? Where you always want to achieve?
Well, I know what I want to achieve.
Right.
For us to produce quality cricketers for West Indies.
Right.
But there has to be a pathway. First, quality cricket for the community, school, national team, regional team, and now upwards. That is what we're working to.
Right. So then, if that's what you're working to say, everybody should be working, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what everybody wants.
Human beings are complex. Very complex.
That's the challenge now.
You know, another thing,
yeah, look at kids. You bring a child here, they're 2 years old or 3 years old, and you, as a parent, you know, say hi to one another. But the kids, the same kids you bring up, they play with one another. Yes. So why is they that age here doing that? Why we are?
Well, when we were, I give you this joke. When we were doing the under 13 boys, there's one little guy. He wasn't coming. I saw his mom. She said, I said, why not letting so and so come? He said, my mom don't want me to come. I said, why not letting him come to play the cricket and the football? Because had his the football at the same time as well. He said, oh, I don't want him to be slight. You have some sons out there. I don't want to kind of like a botheration. But you know how children are. I don't want to be around Monty them and so forth, and they can have advantage in him. And I said, really? I said, you know when you go and work, you know who you playing with? He said, no. I said, Monty and them. Right. You don't want him to come down to the sports facilities where adults are supervising a good program, because there are some children down there. But when there's no sports and you go and work, it's the same children in airline with. So I say, you see, so those are some of the challenges that we have.
Right.
The parents them don't understand. Children will fight. They will bully each other. Not that we're condoning it.
Right.
But that is why you bring them into these programs. So we sort of steer them about the right way and about how you treat your friend and
important
and so on. You know, because children are going to be children. And some of the things that they do when they come, we just speak to them, because we know it's going to take a little while before they get out of it. They got fling stone and these things. And honestly, I love to see children fling stone.
Right.
Because we used to do it. That's how we develop throwing skills, because sports is about running, jumping, and throwing.
Right.
And so I hate to have children tidy and I have to teach them how to fling. So then we have to put soda line out on the table and say, if we knock off one, you get it. Because they can't fling.
Right.
And so if they fling stones, and so you just speak to them about the control. Hey, if they cars there, you can't fling stone.
Right.
Because, you know, look, when you climb, don't try and jump from branch to branch, because if you fall, something will happen.
Right.
I saw one mother one time, the little fellow was climbing a little tree that we have there, and she said, come down, there's somebody fall down. I said, you're my age. We used to climb the same tree, you know, and we never fall down. Here we. Boy, you know you're right, boy. But now we're so protective of our children, we don't want to climb, and that's what used to strengthen us, by climbing mango tree and stoning down mangoes and that kind of thing and so forth. That is why we probably developed, you know, when we were young, we were strong for our age and so on. And so children have to do that. Develop naturally.
I tell you something, Flipper. I tell you about throwing. I remember part of my throwing test, check how strong my shoulder was. I used to stone for one side, the countryman to the next, north to south, south to north. One can do that easily now. Last year, east to west, countryman. The distance longer. But those days, when the cable come up Navy Street and so, you know what I mean? Yeah, the same guy Tommy Green, so we knock on your house and so. Throw more stone in your house.
Why we just throw the pan for it, see the ripple in the water?
But no, I mean the trouble. I did trouble in the pan. We trouble cover the pan.
Oh, okay, I'll get to this.
But stone going in Navy Street. And then when it started, I started with top of country pan with Independence Africa. To the next end over then so then you know, well, you have to go arm straight now. It was distance I deal with.
Right.
So a lot of guys do that on overs. Test your arm straight in the country pan.
Right.
When they're young, you know what I mean, 12 and 13 and so on. So I know they were flip a time out. You're trying to stuff, you test your strength. Develop your arm strength and so on. So it's good. You know what I mean? Like people say climb trees and they can climb it, build up your shoulders and your wrists and so on.
As a matter of fact, it was as late as yesterday. I was there and I see some guys throwing down some mango over by the school. And I went and I moved my car.
Right.
So a teacher came and said, why move your car? You should have. I said, no. They're looking mangoes. I don't want to stop looking mangoes. I just move the car so that So you say, well, why you going to flinging stone? I say, what is wrong with flinging stone? They're not stoning each other. They're looking mangoes. Right. What is wrong with stoning down mango? I say, couple years from now, this guy may have the best arm in the Caribbean, and you go proud to say, I used to teach you. Right. So they fling stone. and she said, I was looking at it from that angle. I moved my car because I didn't want to hit it. Right. I want to fling stone because his little boys that come around the club and so forth.
Not only that, Flipper, you're smart. You're not going mango too.
I remember I had some friends came from England, met them when I was in England, and I invited them to take for holidays, and they came. And that same tree, we went and we were stoning on mangoes, and he said, I've never done this before. I've only seen mango in the stores. Right. And he fling a stone and he got a mango.
He must be so happy.
And I catch it, man. And he wanted. He wanted. He's the first thing he ever on a mango. You know, so these things, I said, boy, we were doing this since we were small. Boy, he said, boy, he never see a mango tree.
Right. Yeah, I can imagine that.
All the time he see mangoes in the store, right. And now he's in Antigua actually stone on a mango. He wanted, if he can't come back to England. I said no.
So then we're not done. Mango, you know what I mean?
You know, so things that we take for granted. Not just that we should cherish them, but they actually aid in developing the actually young people. You can see a guy stoning a mango, and no, this guy can play. This guy can play sports.
Right.
You know, and so we need to, in the communities, Dallas, we need to be a little bit more creative. You know, and just like Taddy was saying, they don't have to be coaches. That will come later. What we need is somebody to organize the little boys and the little girls. In Liberta right now, we're putting back what we used to call our Hayden World Easter Classic.
Right.
But we're doing it at a youth level, and we don't want coaches. We have 4 areas that we divide the village in. And all we need is somebody who just got the little boys. If they have to walk down, because we have like 3 venues.
Right.
There'll be one at Terrace called Trentbridge, Table Gardens, and Ball Beef. We'll play cricket down at Trentbridge, football at the table, and athletics, netball, volleyball. We play over by the club. So all somebody do, gather them, and which venue you're going, you just walk them to there, let them play, and then you make sure that they get back home safely.
So man, Trentbridge still good.
But I'm just going to ask
Trentbridge still have weight.
But just going to ask you about the thing about Sabah, I think.
No, Trentbridge team is not there, but the ground is still there.
I remember some years ago, I went there for some, I think maybe a wiki right by his wife or something.
Right.
And he was Trentbridge walked down. I didn't know Trentbridge in those days was such a nice place.
Yeah.
And the
pavilion is a good structure.
Yeah, I was surprised.
But people took out the bath, the toilets, and so we're going to fit them back in and get this thing.
I was surprised. I said,
I think
this was so nice.
And the Burton boys and everything.
They had a very nice venue for Sabah.
Yeah,
very nice.
No, because that will be the top bar Sabah team and thing.
It's playing Sabah, not having a good venue.
Yeah.
I was surprised. Trentbridge, nice place, man.
Yeah. Really nice.
I didn't realize it before. Seriously.
So we have a team looking there, doing some assessment and so on to see what it's going to cost to get it. Because we're thinking about next year.
Right.
So we're giving ourselves some time, at least 8 months, to get everything in place. So now we're putting the logistics in place. You know, how we're going to divide the village, where Terrell ends, where so on and so forth. Yeah. So we actually have a 17-page document to outline.
So wait. What is the name of it?
Table Hill.
Table by themselves.
Table Hill by themselves. Table by themselves. Then you have Terrells.
Yeah.
Then we have what we call
Terrells is
well, you know where Set Live?
No.
Okay, you know the Adventist churches.
Yeah, man.
Set Live at the road. The Adventist church set the second house after the road.
Okay.
So that side of the road, only that side is Terrells. Go all the way back to Romans.
Okay.
On that side, and then the other side of the road, there's another section joined up with what we call Toggery, Central area, and Green Hill up by the cemetery where Baptist
and Green Hill.
That's Central. Then you have Table Hill Gardens out that side,
and
then you have Ball Beef over.
So Table where Jimbo live.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Table.
Yeah. And they will complete for the Hayden Walsh. When we add up all the points from the different sports, because we're targeting cricket, football, basketball, volleyball, netball.
Right.
Then you have table tennis, hand tennis. And we're thinking about adding in.
And I see how the table tennis is Ball Beef. I see how table tennis coach is Ball Beef.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And we're looking at next table as well.
I've never seen that.
So we'll have to. And we're thinking about maybe domino and worry.
Right.
for the boys and girls. So that's where Chevron will come in, do some lessons and recruit and those kind of things. And then you accumulate all the points, then the winner will get the Hayden Walsh trophy.
Okay.
And that will be an annual thing.
Well, that's nice. And what I like about that too, Taddy, is that it brings the community back together again. You get this close knit again. Because sports always bring people together.
Man, that is true.
Sports unify.
I know
Yes, that would be the most sports.
Yeah, sports divide too. I remember in 1991 when Liberty Sports Club was formed, Trentbridge came on the Liberty Sports Club. Trentbridge was on there, Table was on there,
Right.
football, basketball, volleyball, netball, all the sports were under the sports club.
Right.
It was a powerful organization. So when we had Hayden Walsh Easter Classic, those days I used to play for West Indies, so they used to sell shirts with Kenny Benjamin.
Right.
Aaron Challenger was the guy that did the shirt, and he said, boy, he couldn't do enough.
Right.
Liberty Sports Club shirts and the Kenny Benjamin shirt, and because all the teams, you have to buy your shirts from the sports club. Table Hill will probably say, we want green this year. So it's one design, the Liberty Sports Club logo or Kenny Benjamin, and you buy your green shirt.
Right.
Over by us blue, we buy so the sports club will be making a little, but people wouldn't mind.
Right.
And all your supporters would buy the same color. So it was really a big thing in the community. But you know it is, politicians decide that. One politician, I remember him saying, Taddy, the Liberty Sports Club president is too powerful. All these people looking at him. And so they sort of pick away, breaking away one team, breaking away. It was politics that broke away Trentbridge from the sports club, and it died quickly after that. You see, when you have a body, Taddy, that is organized, that is looking, all you have to do is turn up and play. It's easy. But when you don't have to go and find your sponsor, prepare pitch, and find uniform.
Everybody can find sponsor now easily, man.
You know? So the thing about it is that that was the genesis of that. So I'm urging people, and we're dealing with specifically the communities. I'm offering my assistance, anything I can do to help the communities to start moving forward again, because I know some people don't want to hear this study. But school sports is not about development. It is about participation. There is no time in the school. We don't have time in the school to develop. A coach stand up at the ground, children them come, then they say, look, the bus will come 3 o'clock.
Right.
They have to go. But when you're in a community, during the holidays or on the weekends, you have them until the parent come for them. And sometimes the parents don't even come. You have to carry them home. So that is when we can spend quality time. And once these children start to develop in the community, when they go into school and come together as a school team, we are going to get quality sports.
That's important. This is now, olden days, everything starts in the community. Almost all in good parish, you guys start with the village in the start.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Some of them end up combined school and so on.
Right.
The deal where the quickest start now, because when you're that age, the young age, 11, 12, and somebody start teasing, think you're a big man, can play without anything, then you have the courage, you have the will, you have the skill, you learn fast. You play with the big guys, so you develop a skill real quickly. These were guys who go on to play West Indies and so on.
And you would have played a lot of softball as well. So the transition, because if we play together and we play against those guys over there the same age, and we play in softball and we compete and we're doing well, if we put on pads and helmets, nothing really changed now. Because the same people we're playing against. I've played against these guys, so I used to beat you, I still go beat you.
Right.
You understand? So the mentality of starting with a softer ball is good. Give you some confidence.
They're not going to that before. Can I tell you, in our days in ovals past, you play a lot of softball, I mean, Vivian and guys. And I remember, I can call no Earl, to be honest, I can recall. There's a great batsman at the time, Anthony, Derek Michael.
Skibbity.
Vivi Mr. Michael had to go and softball and do well. And somebody must have mentioned it to him and say, oh, those guys are softball players, man. But I remember that, you know what I mean? But I'm saying to you can develop a skill playing softball. And it tells you Vivi's a bad softball, we bat hardball.
Right.
I remember that, same man driving with them, same cover drive, so he used to play softball. I wasn't managed by it, so like, you know, I was a more T20 guy.
Right.
It's not more 6 and 4s. We play more shots. We play more shots. Real shots, real classy stuff, not no jokey cricket.
Right.
Real shots. So you can develop a skill at a pretty young age playing softball. There's nothing wrong with that. And then when you get the confidence and the boost, and now you get into the hard balls. There's nothing wrong with that. And the thing is, only thing I see different now, soft ball, people roll pitch and so. When I play, nobody will roll pitch.
You just put up 2 stone.
You can't play, you know what I mean?
What I can say, not because he's next to me, but I must say, they call him all kind of controversial, talk plenty and all kind of stuff, but he put his mouth to the plow. Because out Liberta, if you go Liberta, this man they do the hard work.
That's the problem.
You understand?
Everybody, you know, the thing they can do now. Until they get the opportunity.
Right.
Then they dodge, you know.
Exactly.
Everyone can't handle this, you know. You can't manage. Because I'm saying something, you know, me going rising sun, I won't come by school Parish League for years. I know easy task, you know.
Right.
You know my worst feeling? When you prepare a match, man, not going to practice.
Right.
You get vexed.
Yeah.
I'm going through that. When you go and you prepare pitch, and I can imagine that in those days you used to pull roller.
Right.
Exactly.
We drive now.
Roller.
So at least now Karim Ago isn't here.
Right.
He gone for two months. They gone play some tournament in the USA. I don't tell him straight up, boss, I done with this preparing the pitch. Not just that. You prepare a pitch and you have covers. You have covers and you say, gentlemen,
let's pull the covers.
they ask me, coach, you covering? I said, but y'all practicing tomorrow?
Right.
But y'all ask me if y'all covering? Y'all practicing tomorrow, ain't it?
Right.
So why y'all asking me if you're covering? Suppose I say no. Don't ask me if you're covering. The covers are there.
When come they can't play.
The covers are there. You finish practice, pull on the covers, stake them down, and you down. In the morning, I take off the covers. If no rain coming, mark over this, and when you come in the afternoon, you put up your nets, and you go on your business. I don't understand this. I don't understand this thing. I think though, on a serious note, is that I think that it needs a little bit of restructuring in the ministry as well, Taddy. Pat White, for over 20 odd years, Pat White has tried a structure and it hasn't been working. I know it is a difficult thing to do. I think that somebody have to stand up, get some real cajoons.
So wait, tell me something, and I'll cut it short. Are the same structure you're still using for Pat White up to today still?
Yeah, same structure. And they need to rewrite some of the job descriptions. And this is a little snippet of what I think it should look like. Probably there's a better one out there, but from where I'm seeing, Taddy, we need to start assigning these coaches to zones. You might say, look, Flipper, you and Taddy, they run cricket in a zone 3. We're going to want to see your program and your timetable. So zones you might have in JT, Sweets, Liberta, John Hughes, Buckley, Cops Cross. 6 primary schools. Then they have in Irene B and Alsains, 2 secondary. Now we're going to say, look, listen, what we're going to do, the 3 of us will go to these schools in them 2 days a week. We may do a Saturday morning. Now that's where the problem is. So somebody's coaching, I'm going to work on Saturday. Boy say, see, that is the problem.
Right.
The fact that you as a coach only see you working from Monday to Friday, that is where the problem is. The ministry may not say to you, you have to work on a Saturday. But because you have 8 teams and you want to get in your work, you want to make sure you give the children value. Why you can't go and spend an hour and a half on a Saturday morning down by Alsen Field and do a little work with the students and them? You know, I take an hour for you. That is your job. That is your job. You want to make sure when the bell rings, they can account for what you have done. Some people may be able to do it within the 5 days. That is fine.
Right.
But all I'm saying is that we need to go the extra mile. And then if you do that, you deal with that zone there. You know that zone is taken care of. And that is happening in 2 or 3 other zones somewhere. Because when you have one coach with 5 and 6 schools,
Not gonna work.
when you put him in a zone, and they're responsible to get the zone ready, because we may start earlier, because we have 16 because hey, you know what? School will start, cricket will start in January, September, I'll start, pull our little boys and them together. So make sure I put in more hours. So by the time December come, we would have covered the whole curriculum. Make sure we have everybody. And so that when competition start, January, not really hustle for teach nobody nothing. And I'm talking about all the sports.
Right.
So you zone them for all the sports. Zone 3 is zone 3. So all the coaches that work in zone 3, that's you. Zone 1, zone 2, zone 4, that's you. So they have a zone to deal with rather than you giving one coach 4 and 5 teams.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Where do you have Coach Bernard? I have a part of the coach that work in the ministry right now that do tennis. And we talk about 3 hours a night after the same game as well, Liberta. We still have the game and we stay there about 8 o'clock at night talking about different sports.
Right.
And he was telling me the challenge of his job as being one coach, and I call it sports because you might know who you're talking, they might know who we're talking. But he was telling the challenge he had one coach, and they want him coach about 8 schools.
But I know this guy keep doing basketball out in that zone, Pigeon,
Right.
Oslin Gregory, and what he does, he's brilliant at it, brilliant. He get all of his school. He have camps.
Right.
He have Buckley's, John Hughes, Liberta, All Saints, J.T. Ambrose, Cobb's Cross, Irene B. Williams, 7 schools. And what he does, he divide them into age groups. So you have competitions at Liberta for them. I left him in Liberta this morning,
Right.
doing that.
Right.
And then he's going to have a summer camp with all of his. So by the time, and if you check up at the ministry right now, everybody up there after him.
Right.
If he don't send in all of his teams, there's no female school basketball league. As a matter of fact, the National Association wanted to take his program and make it their national female league. And that is similar to what we're speaking about. He's in a zone, so he worked the zone. Rather than working schools,
Right.
he worked the zone. So when they go back to the schools, you see quality, and you see that somebody is working with these young basketballers.
Well, I'll come to the end now, see? Guys, quarter to know.
I went overtime.
Yeah.
That
Well,
is,
it's good conversation, good interaction here, man, you know.
yeah, like we could go on for hours.
Yeah.
That is any closing remarks? We went overtime.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, today was a very interesting program, and again, listening from all of Australia, Flipper always hit the nail on the head. I've read into a lot of these things that people talk about Flipper, like on Facebook and all this stuff, and sometimes I have to nod my head because we wonder if some people actually understand what he's trying to do or what he's trying to say. I think people twist and turn the message that Flipper trying to get out there. So all I gotta say, very good program again to the Earl. Can't congratulate you enough on how the show is going, and it's very interactive. So it's good to be on this morning.
Thanks, man. Flipper, any closing remarks?
Well, just to say that as a nation, we need to really and truly look and see the objectives and where we need to get, and let us find a way to make things happen, and not a way to make it not happen. As to what you're saying about what people saying, so that doesn't really bother me. At the end of the day, I know if I make a comment, I'm trying to be genuine about it. Everything that I say, I don't expect people to agree. Everything that I say may not be right, but at least we can always have our own views and have discussions rather than attacking maybe a point made by someone. There are a lot of things that people say that I necessarily don't share, but I don't attack the individual. I may say, look, I would prefer it to go that way rather than this way. And I think we just need to be more mature as a sporting country. I think we're a little bit immature in terms of that. As soon as we don't see things that we believe in or things that we want, we start to attack and start to defend rather than having a discussion. And most of the times, you can attest to that as a host. All you want is a discussion to see the best way forward.
Correct.
Yeah, man, that's just pretty interesting morning, man, on the program. because it's something I've been talking about. It is development, with sports in Antigua, and the young people are getting the opportunity to play 3D cricket and 4D cricket and so on. Even they're doing that, cricket, the guys can improve.
Right.
This T20 stuff is, even when I hear T20 school league and guys up there, the 13 and this, the 20 overs again, cricket, not in a cricket, and everyone really has selected one time. I mentioned so many times here, when you see a game, against somebody, and everybody's so excited, this batsman going in as a first shot, the ball pitch was head up a drive, the bat swing on to the big swipe and a miss. That's it. When he was walking out there, the young guy excited,
Yeah.
So he thought, well, this must be a good fellow. When I saw the shot, I said, Todd, same thing next, same thing again.
Same shot.
So this man is a swipe man.
Yeah.
He said learning to bat, at an early age. You know what I mean? That's when I remember to see a young boy, Michael, friend of Michael, man. No, the one to play with your captain your team now.
Michael Graves.
Graves. He was going to get picked on in 15 and so the guy, Ann Jones. So those guys are batting real sensible cricket, playing nice strokes. They were very weak at the time.
Right.
But they can see they're playing sensible, coordinated, good cricket. Not no swiping business. But 2020 is about swiping. It looked like you can knock ball hard, they pick them because the crowd love that.
Yeah.
but for the future, West Indies play, you get them early, man. Start teaching them the fundamentals early, That's all I love to say for now, And hopefully next week we'll get me back here.
Yeah. Well, Flipper, thanks for coming. I want to say continue to do the good work you do at Liberta. As I say, I think people keep looking at the messenger instead of the message. And in life, it's not the messenger that is important, it's the message. And once you get a message, you're able to develop and become a better person. Guys, thanks for listening to Sports Mandela. Have a wonderful day.